Hello everyone, my name is Asisipho Mbingeleli and welcome to my YouTube channel. In today's video guys, we'll be answering section A of a previous life sciences question paper. This is from a previous November paper 1. Yeah, it's paper 1, previous November exam. Alright, let's not waste time. Study the diagram below of an animal's skull and answer question 111 and 112. So we'll start with multiple choice, guys. There's 9 multiple choice questions. Then we do 9 terminology questions and then 4 column 1, column 2 questions. All right, let's get right straight into it. So for 111, the above skull is that of a what? We're seeing very large canines. We're seeing molars. So definitely not A, because it's speaking about an omnivore and this is not an omnivore. Definitely not C. So we're left with B and D. Correct answer will be D. That's how you work out multiple choice, guys. You can always start by eliminating the most incorrect options. Okay. A function of the incisors of such an animal will be to do what? C. Bite and cut food. Okay. Then 113. Which one of the options listed below correctly summarizes the waste product for each of the excretory organs? Okay, lungs, skin, liver, kidney. Which one of the following options below correctly summarizes? Okay, so water. Okay, A is definitely incorrect because of this and this. B looks right, but let's look at C. No. Okay, I don't even have to look at the rest. No. No. Okay, correct one is B. Okay. 114. It is recommended that athletes train at a higher altitude for at least 2 weeks before a major event to increase the number of red blood cells in their body. The number of red blood cells increase to do what exactly? To increase oxygen absorption because of the low oxygen levels in the atmosphere. I'm not going to read all of them out loud. 114. Let's see. This seems correct, but to remove carbon dioxide to absorb more oxygen. Okay, A. All right, then 115. The reason for boiling the leaf in alcohol during starch test is to do what? So we boil the leaf in alcohol to remove chlorophyll. We know that. So that's A. If the blood pH decreases, the kidneys will do what exactly? Will increase the reabsorption of bicarbonate ions into the blood. Remember, we're talking about balancing the blood pH. So this is homeostasis for the blood pH. So if the blood pH decreases, we're going to increase the reabsorption of the bicarbonates into the blood. That is obviously taking place in the nephrons of the kidney. Then 117, study the list below and answer the questions. So which of the above listed reactants are required for photosynthesis? So for photosynthesis to take place, we need carbon dioxide and radiant energy. Water, yes. Water. So 1, 2, and 3. 1, 2, and 4 actually. So that is B. 117. Why am I saying it's B? 1. There's 1, 2. It's this one. A. Sorry. It's A because this is correct. This is correct. This is correct. So you match it with that combination. Okay. 8. A plant's stomata close when temperatures exceed 30 degrees Celsius. What is the most likely factor to limit the photosynthetic rate after this happens, definitely carbon dioxide concentration. That's a limiting factor. Okay, then 119, lovely question. In the diagram below, identify the process occurring at X and Y between bodily tissue cells and the capillary. So that's the capillary, and these are the tissue cells. X and Y. That's definitely gaseous exchange. It can't be cellular respiration. It will have to be gaseous exchange first in order for cellular respiration to take place in the cells. So what we see here, so looks like something will diffuse out of the cells into the blood, and that will obviously be carbon dioxide. Okay, then in Y, from the blood into the cells, that will be oxygen in order for cellular respiration to take place at Y, or rather in all of the cells. So it will be a passive process, gaseous exchange. Remember, each multiple choice question, guys, is worth 2 marks. So please do not leave any empty space. Do not leave empty spaces at all. You are given 4 options. Just choose. Even if you don't know the correct answer, just guess. Just guess. Please don't leave any empty space. There's a 25% chance that your guess could be correct. Okay, then we go to 1.2, an organelle in plant cells that contain chlorophyll, that is chloroplast. Breathing muscle responsible for raising the rib cage during inhalation, that is intercostal muscle. A tubule responsible for transporting urine from the kidneys to the bladder, that's the ureter, not urethra. Structures in the lungs where gaseous exchange occur, that is the alveoli or alveolus. The main photosynthetic tissue of the leaf, that is the mesophyll, palisade mesophyll if you want to be specific. Palisade mesophyll. The breakdown of water molecule into hydrogen and oxygen atoms during photosynthesis, that is photolysis. Protective double membrane enclosing the lungs, that is the pleural membrane. Gas required for aerobic respiration, that is oxygen. Patches of cells in the pancreas that secrete insulin and glucagon. So islets of Langerhans. All right, that's terminology. Please make sure that your spelling is correct, guys. Indicate whether, lovely questions. Indicate whether each of the following descriptions in column 1 apply to A only, B only, both, A and B, or none. Now, this is a typical column 1, column 2, 1.3 question in life sciences. All tests and exams that you are going to write in life sciences will have this type of a column A, column B, but we don't refer to it as column A, column B. We refer to it as column 1, column 2 in life sciences. Now, you've got descriptions given to you in column 1 and 2 options given to you per description in column 2. Now, you need to indicate if only one of the options is correct, or both of them are correct, or none of the options given to you are correct for that particular statement. This is very important. Please follow the instruction of how you need to answer. Okay, so you can have 4 different options here, or rather, yes, options as your answers. So your correct answer can be A only, B only, both A and B, or none for each question. Now, it's important that you follow the instructions, guys. That's why I'm emphasizing this. I know some learners mess it up, especially for the both A and B. For both A and B, you can't write A-B, A.B, A/B. This is not both A and B. This is incorrect. You end up losing 2 marks. Okay. All right. Structures which prevent food particles from entering the lungs. That is B only. That's the epiglottis. That flap that will close the trachea. when you're swallowing. The region of the alimentary canal where most water is reabsorbed. The proximal convoluted tubule, that's a tubule of the nephron, or the small intestine. You know what? I remember in the discussion, water is B. I don't want to confuse you guys. Yeah, let's just take B because that's what we have on the memo. But this is very tricky because then there's information about the large intestine. There's information about now water is absorbed in the large intestine and not necessarily reabsorbed. But let me not confuse you guys. Let's leave it at that. Okay, the memo says B. But yeah, this was a big argument in the discussion. Okay, lined with ciliated epithelium. Definitely both A and B. Sorry, so here you write B only, then here both A and B. Hormones responsible for osmoregulation. Again, okay, these are obviously some of the erratas that we discuss when we mark the memos, but the argument here would be, other learners will say both, others will say, because this antidiuretic hormone is basically ADH, and this hormone is the one that is responsible for regulating water concentration in the body, right, in the blood. Then aldosterone is the one that is responsible for salts. Now they work together, right? But the argument is when we speak about osmoregulation, other people are saying we are only speaking about the regulation of water and not necessarily salt. So then you then have learners saying B only because osmosis, osmo for water, that's regulation of water. Then other people say, okay, when it comes to osmoregulation, water is always regulated with salt, then hence both A and B. But such confusions, learners are accommodated. So whether you say both A and B or B only, you will be accommodated. All right, all the best for your test and exam.